Yo, it's Big Fan Breezy with the Brooklyn Nets blog. Y'all already know what it is. You know what I'm saying? We're going to compare national basketball to international basketball, talk about Cam Thomas and some more shit. Whatever y'all got going on, you know what I'm saying? It's pretty much the off season. The summer league is over. Y'all throw questions in the chat. I'm gonna be on the chat. Yeah, put a question in the chat. I'm gonna be on the chat. You know what I'm saying? No basketball. It's WNBA, but I don't really do that content. You know what I mean? I'm more be watching it for entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Ice in the building. Yo, what up, Ice? We out here. Definitely finna throw the link in the chat for my guy Ice. Nets fans is the best fans, as you already know. Um, but yeah, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna react to a few things. And you know what I mean? We're gonna get to it. Now let's I should react to the Players Choice show I did last night because it's kind of connected to what I was saying, and I could just pretty much go off of that because yeah. Oh no, that was different. That was his channel. Let me go to his channel. Uh, yeah, excuse me. Here you go. Yeah, I was on this show last night. So, you know what I'm saying? Y'all can help me react to that, then get into it. What's going on? Yeah, Claude, I got to, man. You know what I'm saying? This is what I love to do. I love to talk basketball, so, you know, and they keep me in a good place, mentally. Shout out to Money Mike in the chat. He said Nets fans is the best fans. Y'all already. We gonna react to this. I wanna get y'all shout out to Chilltown Hoops. He you know what I mean, a content creator that I follow. Um, I was on his show last night, so we can start with that. Then it's gonna lead into the conversation in national and international basketball. Kind of throw the link in the chat for my guys for that. But um, yeah, without further ado, let me just get to it.
I
And
love what they're doing in Oklahoma City. I don't like it. I love what they're doing in Oklahoma
me
City.
too,
But
Trill. Me too.
I just don't think that I'm going to see a back-to-back champ in this decade. I don't think so. I thought it was Milwaukee. Wrong. I thought it was going to be Denver. Wrong.
First, I want to say thank you.
Unfortunately.
First, I want to say thank you for doing the show. This is a great show, man. Love it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wo-
Absolutely
Word,
worthy.
man. You know what I'm saying? Big fan of what you're doing. I see you on TikTok. You everywhere. But the elephant in the room to me was, you know what I'm saying, the title, because it's like the youngest team in the NBA just won a championship. And now they look like they're the oldest team. And I'm just saying, I think me and Chill and everybody else watching the evolution of basketball happen right now. Where
Right in
young
front of
teams
us. Right in
were.
front of us.
I
Right in
wanted to
front of
hear
us.
you. I wanted to, because I'm trying to chill with you. I want to ask you specifically, do you see what, um, I know you do, but I'm saying it in a question form. With you know what I'm saying, Sam Presti is doing with making his team competitive in that rookie scale contract.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with Houston Rockets. They trying to make these lottery picks and that rookie scale contract with a lottery pick. They trying to become competitive right away. I see it with the Spurs. I see it with Houston. I see it with OKC. You see what I'm saying?
Well, think this, fan. Think this, Breezy. If you look at who Oklahoma City got in free agency last year, they got Hartenstein. Hartenstein is a backup with the Knicks. Like, that's what they're getting in free agency. Like, nobody's coming to Oklahoma City. So we got to get it through the draft. We got to get it right in the draft. And we got, excuse me, we got to get it right in the draft. And we got to get it right when we trade for guys. Like, they screwed up and they owned up to it. When they traded for Gordon Hayward, it just didn't work, right? It just didn't fit. And I mean, that's part of it. Sometimes you're going to miss, right? But for the most part, with all of the draft picks that they have, when things start to get expensive, they have the opportunity to reload. They have the opportunity. If I got to move off of Casey Wallace, right? I'm really not interested in moving off of J Dub. I'm really not. I'm not interested in moving off of him at all. No, but things are going to get expensive in Oklahoma City. They're going to get expensive fast because of this collective bargaining agreement. And it sucks too. But because I got the draft picks that I have, I'm going to be able to supplement that. And Sam Presti has shown us that he'll get it right in the draft more than he gets it wrong. Like finding Aaron Wiggins at the number 55 pick. That's a big
55.
deal. Yeah, nobody really talking about that.
Right. See, the whole point of me agreeing when I said 55 is, I got that from that movie all about the Benjamin 55 years old. 55, 50, do, 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 45, 27. Anyways, I was basically trying to say that with Aaron Wiggins being essential to the rotation means a lot because that shows that the GM and the head coach is on the same page about what players to play. If we draft them, we play them. If we give them the opportunity to be essential to this team and they don't knock him because he's the 27th pick or the 55th pick or whatnot. So, that's that. But let's keep it going.
Finding him at the 55th pick. Cason Wallace, right? Bagging Alex Caruso for Josh Giddey. I mean, I think that was a damn good trade for both parties. You get your lead guard, I get my I get my wing defender who I desperately need. So I feel like what Sam Presti is doing, I think that he set himself up with they're going to consistently be competitive because of those draft picks.
Yeah, I think just going younger for teams trying to be competitive, specifically the Houston Rockets, OKC, and the Spurs. These teams being competitive this early in these rookie scale contracts, it's going to show competitive, I'm saying, for a long time. And I think that, I was watching, you watched 7 p.m. in Brooklyn? You watched that show with Carmelo, the podcast?
I've seen it a couple of times. It's a good show, yes.
Yeah, him and Tracy McGrady was on there talking about being pure Spurs. And I'm saying Tracy McGrady and Carmelo, they read that, you know what I mean? It's a lot of myths that go inside of, you know what I'm saying, the scoring the ball and, you know what I mean, being a playmaker, facilitator or scoring. But case in point is, the way they discussed it, it was like it's 90% mental. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes. He was talking like Melo, but I eat. Can you hear me?
Yes, you hot. I'm listening to you. Mm-hmm. You hot.
Melo, he was saying that he wasn't never worried about Tim Duncan guarding him. It was more of a, you know what I mean? I mean, not Tim Duncan, the guy that was guarding him. He was worried about Tim Duncan in the weak side. So he had to figure a way around the deep. They spoke on a lot of things. I don't want to ramble on. But,
I understand what you're saying. If you look at scorers, right? If you look at scorers specifically, Kobe Bryant was great at this. Like the guy that's in front of him, he looks past him because I can get around him. I can get past him. I'm looking at the second line of that defense. And what I'm doing when I'm looking at the second line of the defense, I'm playing plays in my head 2-3 plays ahead. That's what I'm doing. Okay, once I get by him, that weak side defender, he's going to flash. When that weak side defender is going to flash, he's going to be open. But if he's open, that defender is going to see that and he's going to slide down. So I'm not going to be able to hit him. But I still got this guy coming up, so I can shoot right over the top of him. This is the kind of stuff. The reason why I say that, Breezy, because I get that from Larry Bird. Larry Bird used to say that he would play the game a couple of plays ahead, and it would work out exactly how he thought it would. I mean, that's the basketball IQ that these guys have, and I love that about guys like Carmelo Anthony, about Tracy McGrady, and the fact that these guys, they wouldn't waste any time. Like, let's get right to it. I mean, I think that's what made them great scorers.
Nah, in fact, the last thing I want to say, and I had to speak to you about it because, again, I don't know if they should get credit for it because I'm about to, do it live, and they talking about, I'm talking about international basketball and national basketball. Like, we the NBA, we not. All right, this is the part I want y'all to pay attention to the most. Yeah, the second part, I'll get to that again, but this is the third part of the conversation, which is the last part, which leads into what I wanted to blog about last night. But, you know what I'm saying, I did. But we here now. Case in point, international basketball versus national basketball. We're going to have the back and forth between me and Chill. Then I'm saying we're going to take it from there. You know what I mean? Hold up. National basketball. The basketball is national. We here. You look at the talent here. They prioritize the talent here because we better. That's what we were notorious for a long time. Now, I'm only saying that to say with contracts of MVP this decade. We ain't going to go through it. But I said that to say that they take credit, the international basketball, when I Googled it, because I ain't going to lie, I Googled it. But I'm asking you, somebody that actually seen this basketball evolve through the, you know what I'm saying, plethora of seasons. Now, I'm saying that the international basketball take credit for ball movement. They take credit for just kind of like playing a team way, and then they try to peg the NBA as, you know, being dominant with one player. So, you know what I mean? I'm just asking you, should they be able to take credit for that? Is it always about, was the NBA always about one player dominating, or did we have ball movement too? You know, I just feel like they just taking some of the credit that the NBA deserves, the national basketball deserves. You know what I'm saying?
Well, think about this, Breezy. When Tex Winners and Phil Jackson bought into the idea of Tex Winners with the triangle, I mean, that was revolutionary. Like moving the basketball, like
Right.
not one guy just dominating the basketball. In fact, that's why we were losing, because this one guy had the ball all the time. And it wasn't difficult to just load up on him. We can consistently load up on him. When we had Magic, okay, Magic sped the game up, but with Magic speeding up the game, even though he had the ball in his hands, he was looking for you. All you got to do is run. I mean, that's basketball. When I got a bunch of different guys in the game, it's difficult for you to key in on all of us, as opposed to when I got one guy who's got the ball all the time. Well, if I'm throwing the ball into Olajuwon, we're playing off of him. It's not like I'm throwing the ball into Olajuwon and we just all standing around watching. No, that's not the way that works. Kenny Smith is flaring to the corner, right? Vernon Maxwell is diving to the rim. Otis Thorpe is also getting big. I mean, it was a number of different guys that made it clear that it wasn't just throwing the ball into Olajuwon. He was our hub. He was the offense, but we got other guys involved in the game in other ways. And I think with the international game, guys like Luka, guys coming to the league, they make it look like y'all the only ones moving the ball. No, the ball was moving in the NBA. Look at that Golden State Warriors offense. In 2014, that San Antonio, the way that they beat that Miami Heat team, Breezy, that's the most beautiful basketball I've ever seen in my life. Ever.
Yeah, I know that.
I ain't never seen basketball.
Team,
man, that was the most beautiful basketball I ever. The way that they smoked Miami, I was like, nobody could beat you playing like this. Nobody. I don't care who you go get. If that ball is moving like that, you got no chance. The 96 Bulls, the 72 Lakers, none of you dudes got a chance against these dudes with the ball moving like that. So it's very important that we recognize that the ball has always moved in the NBA. It's just a matter of the influx of the Euro making it look like the Euros brought this over here. No, they didn't. No, they did not. That's just not true. So the ball has always moved in the NBA. It's just a matter of the influx of the Euro making it look like Euros brought this over here. No, they didn't. No, they did not. That's just not true. So
I appreciate you, Phil. Yeah, thank you, man.
Yeah, brother. Absolutely.
Exactly. You heard what he said, man. You know what I mean? And that's what it is. I just feel like that's what it is. Shout out to Leaf. He sent the super chat. That's his handle, youtube.com. He's moderator on his page, youtube.com/Leaf4788. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can subscribe to his page over there. But I agree with you. We was doing it before the Euro, quote unquote, Euro style play. You know what I mean? I just feel like they was getting a lot of credit. Like, damn, like they just think they just influence everything we got going on. That's not true. That's not true. You know, look when I look at the Google search. Look when I look at the Google search. National isolation plays, pick and rolls, offensive strategies often involve one-on-one matchups, pick and roll plays, and isolation situations create scoring opportunity. This is what they're saying about national play. Focus on offensive highlights. The styles often associated with highlights, field plays, and exciting offensive display. Right? This is what they say. Oh, y'all can't see it. My bad. Let me pull up the graphics. All right. There you go. And make it a little bigger so y'all can see. European basketball. Look what they give them credit for. Team-oriented play. European basketball emphasizes ball movement, playing movement off the ball, and a more structured. This is opinion. I don't like this. They only got 100 and something players over here. It's more national players than international players, but yet they could take credit. I'm going to go look in all the top teams in the European leagues. Somebody, if y'all help me on this, look at the top teams in the European leagues and see how many assists they average per, you know what I'm saying, per season. See what's the best European league. See how many assists they average per season. Yeah, I know there's hockey assists, but we're not talking about hockey. We're talking about basketball. I want to see the NBA's how many assists the NBA average per game last season, and I want to see how much the European basketball league, the best European basketball league, influenced how many assists they had last season. I'm not going nowhere in the conversation until I find that out. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this. No. How many? Come on. Let's see what's happening right now. Yeah. Wow. Oh, my laptop bugging right now. Yeah, my laptop bugging right now. All right. There you go. Nope. It's bugging. All right. Let me close that. Oh, shit. I ain't mean to close that. I meant to close this. And damn. Shout out to Quest One. What's the word, Quest One? Word. What's the word? I'm trying to let me throw the link in the chat while I do all of this. Because this got to be a quick show. I got to move around. So let me throw the link in the chat now. While I look for this content. They international, but look at all of the credit they giving them for. They trying to give them credit for Money Mike. They trying to give them credit for passing the ball and more talking about they more structured. Bro, what you mean they more structured? How many assists they average? How many? Excuse me, how many? Show me. I'm not going nowhere with the conversation until I find that out. That's something I need to know. That's something I need to know. Right. Oh my gosh. Shout out to Leaf on the panel. Shout out to the Eskimo on the panel. What up, y'all?
What's going on? What's the deal, bro? Shit.
Oh, that might sound mad muffled.
Oh, my mic. Nah, I'm on the phone. That's why I'm getting
Oh, you good?
getting everything together for this apartment. I'm supposed to be in this apartment either by sometime this week, man. I got to get me a new computer. Got to get me a whole bunch of new shit. But I think the conversation you was talking about the international league and the NBA. I think they just going off of like how the half court sets is. That's in my opinion, bro. Like because I don't think everything is like 3 seconds or less, bro. Like we like don't get me wrong, bro. Like I think we got a lot of stuff from them in terms of how they used to play back in the '90s and back in the '80s, and they got a lot of stuff from us. Like I think it kind of flip flop because if you look at European basketball back then, it was played a lot like how the Steve Nash Suns was playing and how the Warriors was playing with Steph and it was a different time, bro. I think that we kind of like basically adapted each other's original play styles, man, from the 20th century. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of and I don't think it's to call it anybody theirs, bro. Like that's the thing. I don't go on Google and go search up shit no more, bro. I got to look at the games now because
So
if I go
hold
look at a
on.
game,
No. But what I'm saying is, I'm not taking nothing away from that. I want to read this comment. Claude Smith says American manufacture NBA stars more than all the combined international countries. Always will be. Larry Bird once said it's a black man's game. Yes, and I'm not going to say it's like it's the whole thing. The way they say it, it's like the whole thing about the black quarterback thing. Like Remember, they was making it seem like blacks couldn't be quarterbacks or something like that. And I think that's what it is about the European, the international, and national. It, and I don't like that because basketball players are basketball players. But as far as the origin and what built it, you got to realize why the ABA even happened. The ABA was merged with the teams with the Nets, Spurs, the Pacers, and the Nuggets is because it was just Big Bang, Little Bang. But they wanted the best teams out of our league because the way we played the game different than them. So if anything, the credit should go to the ABA for moving the ball because wings were important in the ABA. Dr. J, he was the best player in the league. Case in point, best player in the league was always a big man in the NBA until the infusion, in my opinion, into the infusion of the ABA. That's when you see point guards become better players and get more acknowledgement. And you know what I'm saying? There was diversity there. So that's what I'm saying. The ABA, for the most part, it should get that credit, not necessarily the European League. So, yeah, go ahead, y'all. Go ahead.
I mean, the ABA. I think the credit that it was warranted. They got it at the time because of the 3-point line. Because remember, they had a 3-point line in the '70s. The NBA didn't. And when the ABA and the NBA went up against each other in the '70s for like in the All-Star game, the ABA had their way because there a lot of their shit was speed, versatility, and all that other stuff. The '70s NBA, bro, was basically kind of the decline of the NBA from like the '60s and the '50s and the Bill Russell, the Wilt Chamberlains, like and the Oscar Robertsons. They was on their way out. The Jerry Wests was on their way out. So all you really had in the NBA was Kareem and maybe what Havlicek and a couple other players, as opposed to the ABA having Moses Malone, Dr. J, George Gervin. The list goes on and on and on. But I think the infusion of like, I think we like in terms of basketball, the NBA got something. Every other decade, the NBA got something from somebody. They did, bro. Like whether it was implementing coaches, implementing schemes, implementing fast play, the European coaches started coming over. Mike D'Antoni was one of the first European coaches to start getting stuff to run up and down with the 7 seconds or less. Now you got 3 seconds or less with the
Yeah,
paces. I mean, like we got something from everybody. Got something from somebody. I don't want to dig a hole and trying to find out who's better than who, bro. But everybody got something from somebody. That's all I'm gonna say.
all right. What you got on this, Ice?
Yeah, I don't necessarily think they giving credit. I just think that they talking about the style of play, right? Because they do run a different style. They don't have no 3 seconds in the paint. They don't have none of that. You know what I'm saying? So I think, like Lee's saying, it's kind of like a flip flop thing. You take something here, you take something here, you move this over here, and that's how they playing. So I don't think I just think they not saying like the EuroLeague is better. EuroLeague is better because like they're kind of playing like the old way that they're saying like the EuroLeague spacing is tighter. It's much harder to score. The NBA has more spacing. You know what I'm saying? So you look at what's going on over there. They made it that way so it's difficult to score. So your IQ and everything else has to go up. But when you come to the NBA, you still have the same IQ because you know what I'm saying? You got better athletes, better defenders, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So it's a give and take thing. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I agree with Lee. It's a give and take on the league.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. We saying that, but that's not what Google's saying. They just straight trying to give the European leagues all of the credit for moving the ball. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Like and the reason why I derived this whole conversation is because we got 3 international players and 2 national players. I was like, damn, we look going abroad more than national talent. Is that what we doing now? We got 5 draft picks. The first time this ever happened with one team gets 5 first rounders and they get it. And you take 3 foreign players, international players over, not 3 to the other way where it's 3 national players and 2 international players. You were supposed to only get the best of the best international players. not some mediocre players. Respectfully, Manu Ginobili was a champion when he got here. Petrovic was already a pro. Jokic already a pro. No, all of these. Oh no, Wemby. You want to get Wemby because he highly scouted? That's one thing. If Diego highly scouted the same way, kind of, sort of, as Wemby, we'll see. But my point is, I didn't see that with Diego. I didn't see that with Saraf. I didn't see that with Trey. A little bit with Traore. A little bit with Traore. I'm not gonna hold you. But at the end of the day, to look abroad more than national, I'm just not knowing if I agree with that. I know Sean Marks is an international player. He's from Australia. So I get it. But when you look at what Sean Marks' picks was, this is what I'm saying. Is he doing this because he want to be revolutionary? Like, well, I was an international player. I got drafted way late in the draft. I'm going to make sure international players in the lottery. I don't know if this is something that he's doing because of that. And I'm saying, is that behooving the Brooklyn Nets? Hopefully we not just, doing it because Sean Marks was an international player. So I don't agree that they should get credit for the ball movement. I do agree with Chill that as far as revolutionary basketball, we got some of that with Phil Jackson doing the triangle offense. Yeah, man, it was ball movement here as well. It wasn't like, I don't get what they saying, but they making it seem like this is the way we played. It was that it, and that was all. Yeah, we're going to go to the NBA going to have the pick and roll, especially if the big man was the dominant player back in the day. I mean, the rim is 10 foot tall. If you got a 7 footer, yeah, you're going to make the league around the tallest dude in the. What I'm saying is, it's not a negative connotation. Some of the stuff that they're saying, there's nothing wrong with the pick and roll. I don't want them to downplay the pick and roll for the drive and kick. Because even if that's what it is, and you're trying to drive and kick, and you got forwards taking long twos and 3-pointers, you still taking a lower percentage shot. So right. Even if that y'all want to take credit for that, how much is that better than a pick and roll? No. Styles make fights, man.
I just want to make this my bad, Ice. I just want to make this point. Like all the way until zone defenses came into the NBA, the ball was dumped down in the paint. If you really want to keep it funk, bro, because it was man-to-man defense, bro. Like, and the way that you had to double team before zone defense came around, bro, you had to commit to that double team. Also, it was called illegal defense in the league. If you go to the 90s and specifically in the 90s and 80s, anytime before that, the ball was dumped down to the paint. Kareem was the premier big in the paint. Bill Walton, premier big in the paint. Elvin Hayes. You go before that, Wilt was the premier big in the paint. The ball was just dumped down to them and let them work because it was man-to-man defense being the play, bro. But so our style was really the big. DJ, what's going on?
No, that's what I'm saying is, yeah, that's the ABA. I mean, the NBA without the ABA. The ABA made wings important. Look, to Leaf's point, in 2001, 2002, zone defenses in the NBA was introduced. It's initially banned in the 1940s. It was allowed again in 2001 to promote faster paced play and increase scoring opportunities. The NBA further amended its rules in 2006, allowing zone defense on any inbound pass, not just after basket. Now, that being said, yeah, there's a lot of validity to that, and I agree with that. But at the end of the day, this is where you get the wings, the point guards becoming more essential to the offense because they have to change it. And again, yeah, it's slow. If everybody's going to triple team and whatever the big man, if necessary, you know what I'm saying? Shaq was probably one of the last. And I'm not saying Jokic ain't dominant. He's just dominant in a different way. Shaq was, he could pass. You know what I mean? Especially when you got the players that Phil Jackson made sure he was around. But for the most part, he was dominant at scoring. And I think that was what it was. And I think that's what they're talking about. So, yeah, the Google do get some of it right. But we definitely need to unpack what they're saying because you can't just be literal with Google. Like you gotta have somebody to articulate what they actually saying. You know what I mean? But let's go to Ice. What you got on this, Ice?
I think I understand what they're talking about. So I just looked up how much like Luka averaged overseas, right? And even though he was over there dominating that league and was a champion or whatever, he only averaged 14 points a game. You know what I'm saying? His average compared to the US where he's the go-to nonstop. I think that's where they get the ball moving, because even though they go to him, they're not looking for him to score consistently like they are in the US. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not his role overseas. If he went back over there, they'd be like, all right, Luka, you nice, but we're gonna keep this ball moving so everybody, you know what I'm saying? Everybody scores. So his numbers overseas, like everybody's numbers overseas is much lower than coming over to the US. So I think when they say ball move, I think they just looking at it like, all right, you got your Shays, you got your Lucas over here, you got your stars that you consistently go to. Yeah, the ball is moving, but not as much as, you know what I'm saying? Not as much as a team game. They trying to make it more of a team game consistently over there, where they don't want they best player to like score nonstop. You know what I mean?
Right. And again, my thing is only the best players were supposed to come from the international game, not just mediocre players. Manu Ginobili, Tony Kukoc. These dudes was Tony Kukoc was kicking ass in Croatia. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how they know him from the Olympic Games. You know, it was like there wasn't a lot of scouts focused on international basketball first over national basketball. And I derive my opinion from us having three international over two national. This is where all of this comes from. And I just don't want to overlook the talent that's here. I'm not saying don't go international. I'm just saying, did we miss out on national talent? Who could we have got a better player than Ben Saraf?
Yes, we could have. Yeah, to answer your question, yes. But at the same time, because like I don't know when Ben Saraf came from. I don't know how he even got on the board. I know for a fact that our draft board, when we had 8 to 19, the number 16, the Portland Trailblazers ruined it. I'm standing on business saying the Portland Trailblazers basically threw a monkey wrench at everything that we was trying to do. Because
And
that
who?
kid,
And
that
we who?
and everything that the Nets was trying to do in that draft, they do a monkey wrench in it. And I'm gonna
Which
explain why.
draft? Which draft?
In this past draft, and this past draft where we got the 5 first-round picks, I'm gonna explain why. Nobody had that Asian kid, Yang, going top 16 in this draft. Nobody. They do a monkey wrench in that because when he went off the board, here come 2 or 3 more centers went off the board before we picked at 19. At 19, I'm pretty sure we was going to pick him instead and save Nolan for later. The Ben Saraf pick was just like, oh, damn, we got back-to-back picks. Oh, what should we do right here? I think it was one of them situations. I don't think it was a situation that was strategic or nothing like that, bro. It was just one of them situations. Oh, damn, we was looking at this player. Let's get him off we should get him off the board now. Da da da. No. I thought Rasheed Furman was for sure getting picked at right there. And I thought Danny Wolf was going next. That's what I thought. I did not have Ben Saraf being picked. Now, be as it may, even though we got 5 first-round picks, somebody we got to hit on somebody. We got to. Come on now.
Yeah, but I'm not mad at that. Ice, how you look at it though? Ice, how you feel about who we could have gotten instead of Ben Saraf?
Yo, first I'm gonna read Ben Saraf numbers when he played overseas, and I'm gonna get to that. So in the Euro basketball, he averaged 8 points, 3 assists, and 1 steal, but in 17 minutes. But when he played in FIBA U18s, he averaged 28, 5, and 4 steals, 5 assists, 4 steals.
How many games he played in FIBA?
In FIBA, I don't know. This is 2014. So
yeah, because what I'm saying is we can't get gassed off of the small sample size, i.e. Mikal Bridges.
No, because it's different. It just like when I'm trying to explain their league, and then when they open up to, you know what I'm saying, versus everyone he shows out. You know what I'm saying? So that's the difference. I think Luka probably did the same thing. Once he played in his league and he went to U18s or anything like that, he probably showed out. And his numbers was much higher when he got to other competition where he's allowed to, you know what I'm saying, do his thing. But the thing about the draft, I do think we could have got players better than Ben, but I think they won his style. But to Leaf's point, I don't think Portland threw a monkey wrench. I knew, and I kept saying that most teams want bigs, you know what I'm saying, because they're going double bigs. The league is going double big, so I knew most teams want bigs. I just didn't know where they was going to pick them at.
And then, you know what? You know, another thing, like, how you going to knock Portland for getting a foreign, international big when they had the bonus? You know, obviously they would get an international big. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then Yao Ming made, you know, FAMU possible. You know, when you think of another international big from where he from, you think of Yao Ming. And Yao Ming was great. I mean, he didn't really have a long career because of his foot, but he was great for when he did play. You know, I remember one time I was playing the game versus my cousin. He was my older cousin, and I had Yao Ming, Houston Rockets versus whoever he was playing, and I gave it to Yao Ming for the last shot. I won that game. So Yao Ming always been a great player. They definitely probably got somebody that's going to be in that top rookie conversation, rookie team or something. He's a dope player.
I think Danny Wolf with the minutes, bro, to me is probably gonna be our best rookie if he has the minutes. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, I mean, his skill set, his 3-level playmaking and his skill set already offensively is gonna warrant that. I think it's gonna take X's and O's. It's probably gonna take somebody on the coaching staff to really put in their mind that, yo, this could be basically the chain player for right now and more in the works, bro. Like, where he could go with his game, bro, it's a lot of places he could go with his game. I ain't gonna mention no names, but to me, bro, like, once we got Danny Wolfman, I was cool, bro. Yegor, I mean, I was flip flopping on Yegor, bro, as the draft was coming up, but I'm not mad that we got Yegor. I mean, we probably should have got Noah Singay or maybe Queen, but I'm all right with Yegor for now. I mean, because these are willing passers, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's
I'm cool with Diego too because again, like I said, it was, you know, if he not a two guard. If it was true that, like Brooklyn LM said, we got Trey Johnson or somebody like that, then I'm like, damn, you know, it may not be room for Cam Thomas or something like that. But you know, it shows they don't want Cam Thomas to play the point guard, if you ask me, and they do want a big point guard. They want that prototype. So
I already knew we wasn't getting Trey Johnson, Ace, or goddamn Fizz because them first, like,
bro,
anybody
you was
said,
going ham for Ace. I don't know, man. You was going ham for Ace
of
for
course
like
I
half
was
the
going
season.
ham for Ace, but when we got like I was going ham for Ace all the way up into the draft lottery. Then I gave it up, bro. I was like, yo, anybody thought we could have traded up into the top 7? You tripping. There was no movement in the top 7. Now, if you saying that we could have traded up in between 9 through 19, I believe you. That I believe. But at the same time, like, it still was gonna take some mountain moving, bro, to do that. The bottom line is, bro, we got 5 first-round picks. We gotta hit on, like, somebody is going to be something on this team. Somebody.
Yo,
Like, come on, bro. There's no way you could fail
What you
if
was gonna
all
say,
5 of
Ice?
these.
What was Ice gonna say? Go ahead, Ice. What you was gonna say?
I'm going back to the draft, but in the U18, Saraf led the U18s in scoring at what I forget how much I said, 30 something points a game or 28 points a game. He led U18s in scoring, so he has some capability of doing something. It just didn't look right, you know what I'm saying, in the summer league. But like I said, in the draft though, I knew the teams want, the whole NBA wants to do double bigs, and even though Portland had a big, they went for another skilled big, right? And we kind of did the same thing, but most people don't believe that Nick Claxton could hold his own, so they wanted 2 bigs, and you know what I'm saying, another big to go along with Dayron, somebody that's, you know what I'm saying, like Danny's height and Danny's weight, but a real center. So the thing trying to convert Danny into a center is going to be a thing to see, you know what I'm saying? But they went for skill guys. The dudes that we got skills and IQ. Will it work in the NBA? I don't know. Like Saraf, I wouldn't have picked him though, even though I know he could hoop. That wasn't one of my guys for sure.
Who was one of your guys?
Oh, Nick Clifford for sure. Or I would have took the dude Cam Johnson number 2, Will Riley from Illinois.
But why though? Why would you pick Nick Clifford? And these are both national players.
Yeah.
Okay, you would have picked 2 national players over the international player Ben Saraf. All right, but tell us why. What about Will Riley? I heard about Will Riley too.
Will is like, see, I figured they would have went with Will because he's just like, he's a better version of Cam Johnson and MPJ, basically. He does the same exact thing as them. He gets to the rim, he creates a little bit, he shoots the three. He's he's either 6'7" or 6'8". You know what I'm saying? A thin guy, but he plays the exact same way as those guys. So I figured they like to do clones, you know what I'm saying, and draft. So I figured they would went with him, but I really wanted Nick Clifford because I felt like he does the things that they want these younger dudes to do. He moves the ball. He got a high IQ. He went deep with Colorado into the tournament. You know what I'm saying? Took his team into the tournament, and he was the standout guy. He could rebound. He could block shots. He plays defense. You know what I'm saying? And he showed out in the summer league, and they say he was one of the best players in the summer league. So it just shows you off the break what he had to offer. And I knew that, but the Nets wanted to go with, you know what I'm saying, all young players except for Danny. But you know what I'm saying, he was a senior. So I figured they would at least draft one of them.
Ice.
I want to go.
Yeah, no, I wanted to Ice that just had this conversation with Ice because a lot of fans don't talk about this, but I hear Ice do. How much credence should we give to players that's coming in and drafting a second, third, fourth year? You know, because the stigma is the NBA pretty much wants to get you as a rookie. That's the best talent they feel like. If you fall to the next year's draft, you know, I'm saying I don't think they should put too much knocks on it because the NIL deals, they got to open up the fact that there may be some advantages getting second year players in the draft, you know, not necessarily in the first round too. Not necessarily all the players in the first 1 through 30 should be freshmen in college. Maybe get some second year players, maybe third, fourth years. So I'm asking you, do you think that some of these second, third, fourth year players in college should be maybe a lottery pick, or you don't think they will ever get no lottery pick action?
Oh, it's tough. It's tough because even the best player that was along with Coop Flag, Janai Broom, he wasn't, because he's a senior, he wasn't a lottery pick. Like, I'm not necessarily saying they should be lottery, but I think they should be looked at differently because like Nick Clifford, like I said, with him, you don't gotta put in a lot of work because he already does everything. Some guys that's seniors, you might overlook them because, oh yeah, they're older, they go in the second round or into the first round. But when you watch Nick, he does everything. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing that he doesn't. He goes in the post, he goes mid-range, he shoots the three. You know what I'm saying? He moves the ball, smart IQ, you know what I'm saying, has a high IQ. He does like when you scouting and you see that he does everything, and you like, okay, he already got shots, he already know where his spot's at, he already know defense. We're gonna have to get him to be more consistent doing these things all the time, and that's about it. That's what you go for. But they keep overlooking seniors because you know what I'm saying, we going young, we going this. It's not, I don't think it's, like you said, I don't think it's necessarily about going young. The best talent is the best talent regardless of the age. If he's a piece, like I said, if he was on this team right now, he'd be better than Tyrese Martin, and that's my guy. You know what I'm saying, I don't talk bad about Tyrese Martin, but around the same age, and Tyrese Martin been in the G League for like 3 years. He got on our team last year, so like 4 years, but he was 4 years in college, and I think he's better than Tyrese Martin. You upgrade. You know what I'm saying? Like Tyrese Martin might have been, you know what I'm saying, time for him to go to another team. That's the way I see it. And then when you go to Summer League, the last game, you got all these older players playing in the Summer League. So my thing is, why didn't you draft someone better than these guys, right? When you had a chance to draft like Nick Clifford or somebody like that. But then you got the older guys trying out for the team to see if they can even make the roster the last game of the Summer League. Like, and then, you know what I'm saying, some people get an invite to the preseason to try out, and I don't understand that, because now you asking the older guys, right, that's not as good as Nick Clifford, to try out, but you had a chance to draft Nick. You know what I'm saying? So to me, that doesn't make sense at all. You draft the best available. Don't overlook the seniors because they're older. Some of them guys might not pan out, but there's certain guys that you can't sleep on.
No, I appreciate that. I just want to appreciate, throw your link in the chat so the fans know where to find you at. Leaf, just can you speak to Zach Edey, you know what I'm saying, being a lottery pick and how he stayed 4 years? Like, what's your thoughts? Yo, Leaf, you there?
You chop cheesing?
It's all good. But my thing is with Zach Edey is he's the only player that I could remember in recent history that went a lottery pick that was stayed 4 years in college. You know, a lot of these 4 year players, they don't go as a lottery pick. You know, or like who is the last player besides Zach Edey that went 4 years and then was a lottery pick?
Yeah, I don't know. I know a lot of people didn't think Zach was gonna
Yo,
go on
y'all
the
get me?
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
that was good. Yeah. Go ahead, Lee.
Well, I mean, what was Zach Edey? Zach Edey's being a lottery pick came at the right time in the right draft. Last year's draft wasn't really nothing to speak on, bro. Like he still has the opportunity to be a top 5 player in that draft, just solely because the top picks was what Alex Sarr and Zachary Richardson, Zachary Richardson and whatever, and Stephon Castle won Rookie of the Year. And Stephon Castle, just because off the strength that he plays with Wemby, he probably would be maybe at best the third best player on that team because nobody in here believed that he better than Dylan Harper. So I mean, the reality is that I think everything that happened for Zach Edey being picked where he got picked is right place, right time, right position. Like he came in right away. He was the lone center on that team. He still is the lone center. They coming in this year without Jared Jackson Jr., who just got paid because he got turf toe. So it's basically kind of gonna be him and John Morant and mainly at number 1 and number 2 option to me because they just lost Bane, and everybody gonna see what the hell I've been talking about all along. Because
All right,
once
well,
he
hold on,
start
hold on,
averaging
hold on, hold on, hold on,
25 and
hold on,
15,
hold
bro,
on, hold
I
on,
ain't gonna
hold
say
on, hold
shit.
on. Now, before we do all of that, yeah. So basically, I can't think of another player besides Zach Edey in recent history that was drafted for. They stayed in college for 4 years. It was drafted in the lottery. I cannot. I
Damian
can't.
Lillard.
Well, he was played for. That's a big gap between Zach Edey and Damian Lillard. That's a whole career. There's players that been in the league after Damian Lillard, before Zach Edey, that didn't last until Zach Edey. That's a very big gap.
It is a very big gap, but I think Dame winning what the 2013, 2012 draft or something like that. And Zach Edey was in last year's, that's 2024. So like that's probably an 11-year gap, like 10, 11-year gap or something like that. So I mean, to your point, bro, like yeah, you absolutely right. That like the 4-year seniors, like you basically gotta be like it's something about your game that has to be on point and in order for you to go lottery as a 4-year senior. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Like, and one thing about it, one thing for sure, two things for certain, bro. Like, I already know Zach Edey is a plus in this league, especially playing with the Grizzlies. You got him and you running pick and roll with him and John Morant. Come on, bro.
Hold on. Y'all trying to sleep. Yo, Jay on the panel. What up, Jay?
Yo, what's good, bro?
Chilling. You doing your show today? Different show?
Different show. Every week it's a different show. Tonight at 9 p.m. on Instagram. On my Instagram, this is Jay. Or on It's a Different World. But shit, I'm on my way to do a podcast right now. My remember a dude that I played in the one-on-one before? I told you he got a podcast or whatever, D Reek and Hippie. And I'm about to be the co-host on his podcast this week.
All right, that's dope. When the next show?
Huh?
I said that's dope. When the next time? But y'all do lives or y'all do videos?
Now I think he do a video and then post it. So I don't know when he gonna post it. I keep you posted on when he gonna post it. But I'm about to head
Okay.
over to their studio right now.
Oh, you on the way there?
I'm getting dressed. I'm about to leave out right now. I gotta be there at 1.
Oh, all right. Yo, well, let me know. So we'll recap it.
All right, yeah. It should be good. I don't even know what the topics is or nothing, but we'll see.
So y'all freestyling? Y'all got chemistry then?
Well, he might have topics. I just don't got none. He just asked me to co-host with him. He said his co-host called out or something. I don't know.
I thought he gave you the whole. He gave me the whole job.
Huh?
I thought he gave you the whole co-host job just off that. Hey, dude called out one time and gave you the co-host job. Damn, dude can't take a PTO.
Guest host, guest co-host.
Okay, you took his job off of one shot. Damn.
I don't think I'm trying to do it every week, but maybe, who knows? But word.
We gonna tap in. What's the name of the show that y'all created together? Y'all didn't create it together. What's the
Yeah, I
name of the
told
show?
you it's his show. His name is D Reekin Hippie, and I think it's called the D Reekin Hippie Podcast or D Reekin Hippie and Friends or some shit like that.
Oh, word. All right. That's the one you beat in basketball, right?
Yeah, whooped his ass.
You could make that one of your topics. Yo, you remember when I bust that ass? Nah.
Right. I if I wasn't fresh, I was just going like put the basketball in the trunk after we done. Like, yo, the basketball right there though. You know what I mean? Just in case.
That's funny. Yeah, we tapping in. But yeah, we were just talking about international ball and you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. I want to say shout out to Dren 23. He a moderator on his page. He said, I'm gonna need a grand soliloquy with my guy Breezy hits 1,000 subs. That's a fact. I'm going live. Yo, bro, that shit gonna be epic, bro. 10 more, man. We on the way. But before we get there, I gotta say I appreciate everybody helping me get there. All the content creators, all the fans, all the subs. You know what I'm saying? A special shout to my guy Jay helping me build it from the ground up. I'm talking 0 subs before I even got on YouTube. You know what I mean? So thank you for that, Jay. And I think you're gonna help that podcast that you're going to. You know what I mean? Be contingent on how you help me grow this podcast.
Right. But appreciate you, bro. You know, gotta support the bros. You know what I mean? And I always said you had the talent for something like this because you was an entertaining motherfucker.
All facts. Um, shout out to Ice, shout out to Leaf, shout out to This Is JTV, shout out to Ice Heavy with his podcast on TikTok. Tell him about it real quick, Ice.
Yeah, y'all can pull up, join the live. You know what I mean? So far, everybody on the panel been on the live. And they be jumping. Some days it was jumping. Yesterday it was jumping. You know what I'm saying? Fellas got to talking, had like 2,000 views yesterday. So, you know what I'm saying? Y'all can just slide over to TikTok and holler at your boy. You know what I'm saying?
All right. What happened when they slide over to TikTok? How they supposed to holler at you when they go to the search bar? What they supposed to put in?
The tip off of Brooklyn Nets podcast. You know what I mean? That's how you find me, Iceman the Eskimo. You heard?
All right. You got something going on today?
I'm not sure. I usually go on and then I usually you know what I'm saying, end my live when Jay go live on Instagram and pull up over there. So I'm not sure today, you know what I'm saying? I gotta think about it, see what other topics I could talk about. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, Ice, let's help Jay find some topics for his show you're going to right now. Yo, Jay, what if
I was writing some topics down for a different show later. I got some topics for that, but for D Reek and Hippie show, it's just gonna be whatever he trying to talk about. I guess. I don't know. Now you're making me think I should have came up with some topics.
Just in case.
Is it a family friendly show? What is it? With chilling with the guys? What is it? A kickback? What is it?
He be talking mostly about hip hop because I told you before he be hosting like showcases and shit. Sometimes we did a couple of showcases. That's how I met him, and he got the podcast. But the funny thing is, since the last time I seen him, because I ain't seen him in a minute. Matter of fact, I don't think I seen him in person since I played him in that game. But since that day, he done went on a whole fitness journey and shit. The nigga done lost like 50 pounds. Like,
He probably want to thank you for changing his life. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's what the show is about. The show is about like at the transition he went through after that whooping. What was score, Jay? What you changed that man's life? What was score, bro?
I don't know. I think it was like 7-1 or some shit.
Damn. That's some
Well,
life changing shit right there. I might change my life if somebody beat me 7-1 too.
yeah, something like that. I don't know. We watched it on here one time because the game was short. The whole game is on my TikTok. Like the game was like 3 minutes
Is that
long.
game on his channel? Did he post it to his channel?
Yeah, that's where I got the clip from.
Niggas go. That's why I think he was probably getting content like, "Yo, that was a good episode, but that dude gave you work. Who was that dude?" You don't be surprised if you go there with your Stacey Adams and he said, "Nah, I brought my sneakers. This is a setup. You thought you was coming here for a podcast? I'm finna whoop that ass."
Nah. If he wouldn't do that, I mean I got on.
You're not ready
They
for
some
that,
old
dude.
school shits though. You know what I mean? The old school trainers. But I think I'll be all right.
So all right. So yeah, I'm just saying, be ready. You know what I mean? Because this might be. He might switch up on you and challenge you to a 1-on-1 while you got on your penny loafers, dog.
Well,
You got on your
I ain't got
wallabies
on.
and shit. Know what I'm saying? What you got on the wallabies, Jay?
Nah, I got on some. Hold on, let me see if I can flip it in. Man, air structures. Okay.
All right. Shout out to Hip Hop is for Life. First time I see you in the comments, man. Please subscribe to the page. Yo, whoever is looking at this page when it's 999 subscribers, and you become that 1,000 subscribers, just holler at me, man. Just tell me, it was me, man. It was me that got you there, man. Shout out to Claude Smith. He said, Sean Marks want Yeager to be the next floor general and face of the franchise as much as he wanted Steve Nash to be the hero coach to win the chip. Let's see how that play out. LOL. Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully. But yeah, we had the conversation. And basically what I wanted to say about Cam Thomas was, listen, man, he's gonna be a great teammate for this team. You know what I mean? They pass happy, he score happy. It's a perfect marriage. You know what I mean? So that being said, I don't think we need to trip. I think it'd be best if they pay him, but if they don't, that's just what I'm saying, the unfortunate side of the business of basketball. Because you look at all of the different players that he did pay, Allen Crabbe, Joe Harris, make sure Cam Johnson got paid, Nick Claxton. I mean, and then when I think about all of the draft players that he drafted, Cam Thomas is probably the best player that Sean Marks ever drafted. Who's the best player that Sean Marks ever drafted?
Yeah, I don't even know.
Cam Thomas.
I don't know, bro.
Until we see something from the rookies, it's Cam Thomas. Or you could say Jared Allen that played for this team. Let me be specific. Cam Thomas is the best player that was drafted for this team, to be specific. By Sean Marks, specific. But it is what it is, man. That's all I wanted to say. I was going to pull up and we had the conversation about the international and national basketball. Probably have a part 2. But I'm a playing to win, you know what I'm saying? But thank all of y'all for tuning in. Shout out to This Is JTV, Poop Barlow, Iceman. He told y'all where y'all can find him on TikTok. Same handle on X. Cole Smith, Hip Hop is Life, Player One, Money Mike, Logical, Raptors fan. Leaf. Thank you for the super chat. Who else? I don't want to forget any of the fans that was in the chat today. Shout out to everybody that's watching that didn't comment. That's cool. I appreciate y'all too. But yeah, man, I'm gonna make this a short live. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can find me with more content really soon. I don't know exactly when, but y'all probably find me in Iceman chat. Y'all probably find me in different This Is JTV chat and different show tonight. So these are content creators that I follow. So you know what I'm saying, y'all can find me there if y'all looking for I guess me in the chat and Ice. They got good content. I say that Ice and Jay, they got good content. So Thank y'all for all tuning in. As y'all know, Nets fans is the best fans. We're gonna be back really soon. Have a good one, y'all. Peace.